You know the weird people who break up with someone and then keep tabs on their ex? That's how sports fans are with former players, or maybe it's just the Vikings. I don't know, but we are so obsessed with hashtag old friends moving around the league. So we compiled a list of Vikings who have left the team in free agency this offseason, as well as former Vikings who are scooting the booting around this during this free agency cycle as well. So starting at the top, Tyler Gronklin going to the goddamn Jets, 3 years, $21 million. Glad he got the bag. Irv Smith Jr. is coming back, going to use less multiple tight ends. It is what it is. Center Mason Cole going to the Steelers, 3 years, $15.75 million deal. Maybe going to slide in at that center spot. The Steelers haven't had a solid center since Pouncey, so maybe Mason Cole works his way in there. And respect, I would have liked to have kept him. $5.25 million and a guaranteed starting spot, which is basically what this contract says with the Steelers. I don't know. We'll roll the dice in the draft. Maybe J.C. Treader in free agency one time, and also Wyatt Davis no matter what. Safety Xavier Woods going to the Panthers. He came over to the Vikings from the Cowboys last year, 1 year deal. Only defensive player in the league to play every single snap for his team, so respect there. And he was fine. He had his moments. He wasn't overwhelming, but 3 years, $15.75 million. Deuces going to Carolina. Just trying to save things with Matt Rule and company. Xavier Woods and Jeremy Chin. Woo! I like him, man. I'm a big Jeremy Chin fan. I loved him coming out of Southern Illinois. Salukis. Running back, wide receiver, kick returner. Should be future Hall of Fame kick returner Cordarrelle Patterson, re-signing with the Falcons. Arthur Smith and that offense finally used Cordarrelle like he should have been used this entire time. And it's so ironic. So Bill, 3x5 play card. I don't have a 3x5, but Bill Musgrave out here, do something crappy. Yeah, he's out here. He was the only one back in 2013 to use Cordarrelle creatively the way that he should have been used. Not Norv, not the Patriots, not the Raiders, not the Bears. No, well, the Bears to a degree. I mean, Matt Nagy. I don't want to give Matt Nagy any credit. Yeah, but Cordarrelle with the Falcons last year used as a legit running back, and he had one of his best seasons of his career and re-inking in Atlanta. And also, what's hilarious is that Cordarrelle's hilarious. I will always love Cordarrelle Patterson. He just loves the game, and he does not give an F. Like, when he re-signed with the Falcons, he tweeted out, "Rise the F up," and he didn't say F. Plus, after Matt Ryan got traded, you would think. So Matt Ryan, who spent 14 years with the Falcons, who's the best player in franchise history, saved them from the Michael Vick shenanigans and whatnot. And you think that you would have respect and reverence. Cordarrelle tweets out, the picture of the Play 60 kid against Cam Newton. I'm just warming up my arm. And he's like, I guess I'm going to have to start warming up. I love Cordarrelle, man. Also, you got mini paid, 2 years, $10.5 million deal. Jayron. So Jayron Kearse re-upped with the Cowboys, 2 year, $10 million deal. He did nice things in Dan Quinn's defense last season after spending a lost year in Detroit. Now, Jayron had a chance to be something here with the Vikings. 7th round pick out of Clemson, worked his way up from the practice squad, and eventually he became a special teams captain in 2019, his final year with the team. But then also the Broncos game in 2019, where the Vikings had, I think it was a 20-0 halftime lead, and then let the Broncos come all the way back. And then at the end of the game, it was Jayron breaking up passes. I think one of them was to Noah Fant, and sealing the game, getting the win. It was great. It's like, hey, this is peak Jayron. We're going to pay him. He's going to stay here. He can be that second safety opposite of Harrison Smith. He can be working from the slot in big nickel as the third safety. But then he got that DUI where Mike Hughes is puking his guts out the side of the car when they were driving down a one-way. And got in Zimmer's doghouse. Didn't work out. Went to Detroit. Went to Dallas. Finally got his bearings back. But so I'm glad that he's finding success. Glad that he got paid. Quarterback Teddy Bridgewater. So it's so hard to say goodbye. Yes, Teddy, there'll always be what ifs. If his leg didn't socially distance from his body in training camp 2016, what could and should have happened? Well, not training camp, but preseason, you know what I mean? And then the fact that he even got back on the field after that horrific injury is a testament to him. No, he hasn't worked out as a starter. I know he hasn't done this, or he hasn't done that, whatever. Again, whatever. Didn't work out with Carolina, didn't work out with Denver, but now he's going back home to Miami. I'm going home to back up to a 1 year, $6.5 million. And frankly, Mike McDaniel saying all the right things, about Tua Tagovailoa. But if Tua doesn't step up, hey Teddy, that's right. Offensive lineman Will Compton. Will Compton was the poster child for just sticking with something that ain't working. So they plopped his ass in a guard. Wasn't working out. It's terrible in 2018, and he's bounced around the league. He actually started for the Niners when they were making a run last year due to injuries, but he signs with the Broncos. 1 year, $2.25 million deal. So that's not nothing. Like, that's not the league minimum. Also, Jumpin' George Payton is the GM with the Broncos. So he saw Tom Compton, the pride of Rosemount, Minnesota, by the way. He saw him every single day for the Vikings 2018. It's just like, I got to get me some of that. Okay. A wide receiver, Laquan Treadwell, re-signing with the Jaguars, 1 year deal. Terms not disclosed, probably going to be a cheap deal, but Jaguars, they spent all the money on receivers, Christian Kirk and Zay Jones. But Treadwell, respect. Last year, he found a little bit of footing with Trevor Lawrence and keeping him around in the mix as a wide receiver 4-ish. It makes sense. Where, Treadwell clearly didn't work out here in Minnesota, and then he bounced around the league for a little bit, so I'm glad he's finally finding a home. Also, someone who found a home outside of Minnesota, Brandon Zylstra. New Spicer London, the pride of Concordia, go Cobbers. Although, so I've had this beef for a while. So Concordia, they're the Cobbers. It's corn, right? It should be cobbler, because cobbler is better than corn. Anyway, so Brandon Zylstra, who was practice squad guy, special teams guy, wide receiver 4 or 5 guy, and then eventually he was just claimed by the Panthers, and he's been there for the last couple of years. So he re-ups for a 1 year deal, league minimum. Mike Hughes. So Vikings traded Mike Hughes to the Chiefs last year for basically a swap of late round picks. Preseason, he stole the show against the Vikings, of course, and Hughes played pretty decently for the Chiefs last season, opposite of Charvarius Ward, and now he's got a 1 year, $3.5 million deal, which is not nothing. Which is a decent chunk of change with the Lions, and now he gets to play the Vikings twice. And plus, Mike Hughes, we've said he should have just been used as a punt returner. That was his best part. That was the best part of his game at Central Florida, but the Vikings didn't do it. There you go. Safety Anthony Harris re-signed with the Eagles, 1 year deal. Now, Harris had signed with the Eagles last offseason on a 1 year deal, stays in Philly. And Harris, if you remember, was the Vikings franchise tag player making $11.441 million. That number is just seared into my brain, like a steak at Outback. Good on ya. But Anthony Harris, whatever. So I included 2 guys that were with the Vikings for a cup of coffee. So Gunnar Azlewski, the pride of Bemidji State. Go Beavers. Now, if you remember, he was a cornerback at Bemidji State. The Vikings brought him in as a tryout at rookie camp in 2019, I believe. Didn't work out, and they went to the Patriots, of course, and they turned him to a wide receiver / punt returner. And he has been one of the best punt returners in the league. And the Vikings during that time, after they got rid of Sherrills, they were ass at punt returning. Thank you. So he goes to the Steelers, 2 years, $4.2 million deal. Glad that he's getting paid. Pride of Bemidji State. Also, Justin Coleman. So Justin Coleman was a UDFA coming out of Tennessee. He was in camp with the Vikings in 2015. I remember seeing him at camp. It was like, that Coleman guy can do some things from the slot. He's looking pretty damn good. Vikings didn't retain him. He went to the Patriots and then the Seahawks and then back to the Patriots. Won a Super Bowl. Got it going in the slot and has actually gotten paid quite a bit. He's bounced around from various teams, most notably Detroit the last couple of years. He's gotten some decent money and now goes to Miami to work the slot on a 1 year, $2.75 million deal. I'm sure there's a couple that we missed. Whatever. But that's it. Let's take a look at former Vikings in free agency, who's going where and whatnot. Let's know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.